Alright, welcome back to the tutorial on Google-Centric Notes. This is the third video in the tutorial series. What we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to add extensions to Google Chrome. Extensions for Google Chrome are essentially little modifications that you can install and embed in Google Chrome, the browser, to make the browser work for your needs. I like to think of it more or less like a car that you're rebuilding. You can rebuild the car to spec and then it'll look like a stock car when you're all done. Or you can add a ton of modifications to the car and really customize it to meet what you want, your desires, your needs. And that's kind of like Chrome. You can do this with extensions. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to get to the Chrome Web Store two different ways. And I'm going to show you how to install extensions into your Google Chrome browser. Once I've shown you how to do that, I'm going to show you your first extension that you should install for Google-Centric Notes, which is called Split Screen. It's very cool and it's very helpful when it comes to Google-Centric Notes. So first things first, you can access the Chrome Web Store one of two ways. First, on your browser, right-click on the top up here and just make sure that the Show Apps shortcut has a check mark next to that. Doing that will allow you to access the Quick Apps screen right there. It's a little button. It's got 9 squares, all different colors, and it says Apps. Anytime you want, you can click on this button and it will load up your apps that you have embedded into Google Chrome. And it will also provide you a shortcut to the Chrome Web Store, your Google Docs, and your Google Drive. Google Drive should be here. I've accidentally deleted that, unfortunately. So what you want to do is, if you want to go get extensions this way, click on Apps, click on Store, load up the store, and then you can start searching for extensions right here. Another way to do it is to come up here to the right-hand corner, Customize and Control Google Chrome, scroll down to where it says Tools, scroll over to where it says Extensions, click on Extensions, scroll down to Get More Extensions if you have extensions installed on Chrome already, or there's another link there that says you don't have extensions, would you like to visit the Chrome Web Store to get some? Something along those lines. And then you can click that link. Either method is acceptable. You can do any way you want, just as long as you get there. So once you get there, we're going to search for our first extension. And this one is called Split Screen. And it's typed out and spelled just like this. Now when you load it up, you come down here to where it says Extensions under this heading. And there's another heading here that says Apps. We're not going to talk about apps today. We're just working on extensions for this purpose in Google-Centric Notes. You want the first one that looks like this. It says Split Screen by this creator. And you want to go to Plus Free. Highlight over Plus Free. Click on it. And then confirm new extension. Add Split Screen. Yes. And then once it's been added, it'll pop up here in the upper right-hand corner. These are all the extensions I have currently installed that you can see in my Chrome browser. You'll notice Split Screen has just been added, and it's all the way over here at the right. Excellent. So when you have Split Screen up here on the right, you will have known that you've installed the extensions properly. Good job. So what we need to do now is, I want to demonstrate to you how cool Split Screen is in terms of Google-Centric Notes. It's actually pretty awesome. So the first thing you're going to want to do is, once you have Split Screen installed in your Chrome browser, is you're going to want to click on it. Now when you look at Split Screen at first, you're looking at this and you're like, wow, I could just move windows around with Google Chrome on the left-hand side over here, maybe Microsoft Word on the right-hand side over here. You could, but what if you don't have Word, right? The whole idea of Google-Centric Notes is to use these free extensions and these Google Chrome and use these free pieces of software to create awesome notes for your online courses. So give it a try and see if you like it. If you don't, you can go back to your old way. You can obviously modify this practice, but this is of course just showing you the foundation for Google-Centric Notes. So Split Screen. On the left-hand side right here, if you wanted to, you can type anything you want and it will save here, and it will always come back. The problem with that is it only stays in a single type of format, just stays in regular text. Okay. On the right-hand side over here, you have the options for Split Screen. Now what can we do with these options? Well, you can set default web pages for each of these screens that are going to load up. As you can see here, the left side will load up to Notepad. The right side is going to load up to Options. So once you have this loaded up, remember I have a bookmark saved for the notes for the online class, the Google-Centric Notes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this URL. I'm going to load up Split Screen. And then I'm going to come over here because, you know, I'm thinking I want it on the left-hand side. I'm going to set the default web page to the left-hand side to my Google-Centric Notes. And on the right hand side, let's set this to something that might be handed out in a course. So let's do a quick example here. Let's load up Richard Nixon, and let's just find something about Richard Nixon. Here we go. Perfect. Copy this one, split screen. And we're going to set the right here. Now this link, and the reason I did that for Richard Nixon, this link is just representative, a symbol perhaps of your online course materials, a symbol of something that you're assigned. You're assigned readings, you're assigned lessons in an online class. Simply stating it that, or simply put, you can take that link for wherever your assigned readings are and make it a default window on split screen. So that's what we're doing here. This Richard Nixon website is going to be symbolic of that. So when we're all done, we're going to close split screen. We'll even close this one out, and we'll even close out our notes. And we're going to load up split screen again. Give it a moment. Here we go. Our notes are on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side is the course materials, if you will, that we have to research. Pretty cool. Now, if you ever want to change the windows, what you can do is you can come up here to split screen, right-click on it, click on Options, and then you can come back over here and you can set the frames. Maybe you just want to load it up to Google. Let's go ahead. We'll save that. Close this out. Close out split screen. Reload split screen. And now we have our web browser that we can search through. So that's split screen. It's a really awesome extension in that you can always have your Google-Centric notes open on your left-hand side while you're browsing your course materials on the right-hand side. It's pretty cool, and this is really awesome because, well, like I said before, if you wanted to, you can load this up, and when we get to the process of Google-Centric notes, if you have your course materials on the right-hand side, it's really nothing to highlight what you need out of them, copy it, paste it right into your notes. And now it's in your notes, and when you go over here to your Google Drive, your notes are there, and here they are. They're down here a little bit. They're down here. We'll go to last modified. That's easier than searching, right? Cool. Your notes are right there, and look, everything you just added is there too. Pretty cool. So that's split screen, and split screen is a really important part of the Google-Centric Notes process. It allows you an opportunity to always have your notes next to you whenever you're doing your work in your online course. And it just gives you the functionality of being able to jump back and forth between a word processing application and a web browser without having to slide everything around and worried about closing something out on accident. So that's that. That's split screen. It's a very important part of Google-Centric Notes. Also, you learned how to install extensions, so remember that skill, the installing extension skill, because that's going to come into play a number of times, as you can clearly see. Each one of these extensions has a role in Google-Centric Notes. So keep that in mind. And that's been this video. I appreciate your watching. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please go ahead and leave them in the comments box, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can to answer your query. And thank you so much for viewing. I really appreciate it.